which I used to address, or who I used to address as Uluwaye of Electrical then, and now Uluwaye of FEDPOFFA. The Rector, sir, President Dr. Abdul. The Deputy Rector, Administration, Dr. Salman, our own Deputy Rector, Academics, Dr. Aliu Mulikat, the Registrar, which I also usually call Mr. Soko, heavily represented by my friend before and now. The bursar of the Polytechnic and the CBN of Federal Polytechnic CBN Governor of Federal Polytechnic Musio Aziz, as I used to call him. Members of the IT group comprising of the directors, the heads of departments, fellow academic staff, because I'm also a member of academic staff of this polytechnic. I say good morning to you all. I am highly delighted to deliver the keynote address at the 4th National Conference of Academic Staff Union of Polytechnic, ASUP, themed Digitization for Sustainable Economic Development. The theme is very apt, especially as the global economies are becoming progressively more digitized. While the need for international coordinated policy approach is growing, this topic is also very apt. Today, 21st of August 2023, to the next 3 days, academia will discuss how the digital transition can be harnessed for a brighter future, for economic growth, prosperity, well-being, and sustainable development. Digitization, which is simply conversion of data from analog to digital or binary, increases efficiency, it reduces waste, it enhances productivity, it increases transparency, and supports datafication, among other things. The contribution of digital economy to the gross domestic product, GDP, of Nigeria, and its role in making the economy resilient to adverse events like the COVID-19 are 2 good examples of the impact of digital economy on traditional economy. Specifically, ICT sector provided 3 unprecedented contributions to the GDP of the country in the last 3 years. Namely, it contributed 14.07 in the first quarter of 2020. It increases to 17.92 in second quarter of 2021 and 18.44 in second quarter of 2022. At each time, that has been the highest ever contribution of ICT sector to the GDP. Also, the ICT sector grew by 14.7% in the fourth quarter of 2020, making it the fastest growing sector of the Nigeria economy in the last quarter of 2020, and the only sector to have grown by double digits. This played a critical role in enabling Nigeria to exit the recession. You will all remember during COVID-19 that all tertiary institutions, all schools were locked down because of COVID-19 pandemic. Imagine we have digitized our lectures, examination, and all other activities. Despite the lockdown, academic activity will still go on. But because that time our activities are yet to be digitized, so we remain analog then. I therefore very much appreciate and applaud the ASUP executive, the members, and specifically the brains behind the coining of the theme for this conference. It is a job well done. Like they say, good thinking, good products. These are examples of one. Pantami opined that Nigeria's digitization journey so far is based on 8 pillars. The first being developmental regulations. Second is digital literacy and skills. Solid infrastructure, service infrastructure, digital services development and promotion, soft infrastructure, digital society and emerging technologies, and indigenous content development and adoption. All the 8 pillars cut across various disciplines of engineering, law, publicity, as those in the PR unit, and so on. Take for example, the issue of developmental regulation has to do with law. Digital literacy and skills has to do with teaching and learning in digital world. Solid infrastructure is an engineering issue, and so on. I believe that at the end of this conference, the participants will give appropriate response to the following questions, among other questions that relate to how digitization can bring economic development. My first question is this: how can every man and woman contribute to building and shaping the bright digital future? Yes, I say bright digital future. The future of digitalization is very, very bright. On the 1st of May every year, that's on Labor Day, we, the peoples, we celebrated the value of work around the world. However, it is coming. It is coming. Yes, it is coming. Automation and artificial intelligence AI are going to replace jobs. And I repeat, it is coming. The time will come when automation and artificial intelligence are going to replace the jobs we are doing. not just manual job, but also white collar ones. Professions such as accountants, auditors, and clerks, as clerical jobs, are also among the most vulnerable. How can people find dignity in a world where work will no longer be needed? There is a popular saying that there is dignity in labor, but I know later it will be changed to there is dignity in digitization, because by the time there is no more labor and we still need to be dignified, then you change that slogan of there is dignity in labor to there is dignity in digitization. Only those who understand how digital technologies work can be fully able to contribute, and only digitally skilled people can be able to realize their potentials and fulfill their dreams in the digital age. So I want to implore those of us that are still analog to, at all costs, try to be digital. In order to ensure advanced digital skills for all citizens, it is necessary to accelerate the preparation for the digital transformation of education, for the digital transformation of education and lifelong learning. Digital skills should be encouraged from the earliest age, considering the use of progressive digital technologies in the education process, including artificial intelligence, to enhance learning. In fact, in my opinion, the knowledge of ICT and artificial intelligence should be taught right from primary school. The second question, which I hope will be answered at the end of this conference, is how do we set rules for businesses and devise enabling social protection systems? Economists categorize factors of production into four. That is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. However, data has become an absolutely crucial production factor. You will agree with me that a production company will need data on which of its products is most sought for by consumers. As a result, it will guide the production factory on which of the products should he intensify his efforts in producing based on demand. So it is part of datafication. Those that are able to collect and retain large amounts of data have also the best algorithms and thus can provide most useful services. Another option which needs to be carefully considered is data as labor. What I mean here is that data collection can form a good source of employment. So data collection can be a form of labor. For example, if you prepare your questionnaires, you will actually need some men or women to gather the data for you. If such questionnaires, if you have so many questionnaires to administer, you can you will agree with me that it will form a kind of engagement or job for citizens. The idea is that data provided by people should be seen as a building block of labor that empowers technology, mainly artificial intelligence. In other words, people should fully control their data, and the digital monopolies should pay people for using them. My third and final question: what is the role of government itself in the digitization process? Perhaps AI can surprise us one day by also replacing politicians. A time will come when artificial intelligence will be used to take some political decisions. Imagine a world where political decisions are made on the basis of data and facts, accurate knowledge of the needs and preference of the politicians. Obviously, it will not be that simple. I believe that many of the government's functions can be streamlined and automated. Thanks to novel technologies, we will be able to track the effects of each law and lawmakers in real time when artificial intelligence are utilized to perform the functions. Instead of politicians to come to the electorate and make a lot of noise, a time will come when artificial intelligence will be able to know the effect of the law they are making and the impact of such law on governance. It's a matter of time. Our tax returns will be handled by chatbots. The time will come when artificial intelligence will be used in tax collection. Though in those days, tax collectors goes from house to house to collect the money physically. But now, it has changed to you can pay online and something like that. But the time will also come when paying online will be obsolete, in which chatbots will be used to collect taxes. Building permits will soon also be issued automatically. You know, everything is going computerized now. Like citizenship of Kwara State. Usually we used to obtain the form physically and all that. But now they are trying to digitize. Collection of school fees. In those days, it used to be by receipt. You usually receipt. But gradually we have moved there to portal issue. You pay on the portal now. That's a signal to you that the time will come when artificial intelligence will also come in to carry out all these tasks for us. So at that time, jobs will no more be needed. So it will now turn to, instead of saying there is dignity in labor, you say there is dignity in digitalization. I believe the main role of the government should be in the system design. The framework needs to be future-proof. I mean, the system was set up to ensure justice and opportunities for all. Though digitalization has a lot of advantages, but the arrival of the new technologies lead to unintended consequences. Let me go back in time. In the 19th century, industrialization brought new ways of production and transportation, but it also comes with accidents, pollution, and new types of weapons. We should therefore learn from this and make necessary security a leading factor in AI design. from the very beginning. Strong and efficient cybersecurity should become a pre-default must element. The ultimate goal of the successful digital transformation is happiness and satisfaction for the entire humanity, built on respecting our common values. So a digitalization that doesn't lead to happiness and satisfaction for all has not achieved or is not successful yet. It is upon the political leaders to enable right conditions to achieve these values. Achieving digital transformation will be hard without a joint action and intensive cooperation between the government and the governed. I wish to especially thank the ASUP for providing us, that is the participants and the general public, with this unique platform that will enable us to discuss the opportunities and challenges of digital transformation, share the best practices, and contemplate the most suitable policy approaches on how all the people can benefit from digital revolution. So let us all step together into the light and choose the future. Let's be digital. Thank you very much for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please let's do it better. Let's give a very big round of applause to the keynote presenter, Engineer Dr. Abdul. Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful and insightful speech.